What's up, guys? We're back on YouTube. I know we said it last time we had a video, then you guys didn't see the video, but you're like, where'd they go? We're still here. Truth be told, last week we got hit with some illnesses. Toddler germs ain't nothing to joke around with. That's all I'm saying.
That's all we're saying.
It took some real good toddler germs to take down your boy.
And he's not really 100% back.
No, but I'm back.
But we are back on YouTube talking about our debt journey. Guys, I don't know why. It's like this is something I would never thought I would share on YouTube. Wow. Okay. Was that the shot?
That was a shot.
Final
Debt 3.
shot. Debt three. Okay. We felt like we really want to encourage people.
Yeah.
We have been calling this year for us the unglamorous year.
Unglam.
You know, when God calls you to do the plowing that you don't want to be doing.
To do the things that may not be as sexy to other people.
Sexy.
It's like the unglam.
I'm bringing sexy back.
No, but it's the unglamming to get to the glam.
To get to the glam.
Yeah.
Fedrick and I are just about that life. If you watch any of our videos, like we are here to help you guys do the same things that we have walked through.
Because not a lot of people talk about this. Doing certain things to help you move forward in the future, to get, whether it's financially, things that you can do. Because in the past, right?
I think a lot of people talk about it.
Well, a lot of people talk about, let me be honest. I didn't grow up hearing a lot of these chats. I didn't grow up having like all these resources thrown at me, or maybe I just didn't want to hear it. If I'm honest. When I was young, I don't know how you was, but when I was young, college, coming out of college, first job, I was just like, I'm gonna put everything on a credit card. I'm just, I'll be able to pay that. I got my job now. Swipe it. Forget about it.
Did you pay it off?
No.
Or did you have like this?
I'm saying I cashed out the credit card and had this full maxed out credit card and was chasing.
Because they give you that
they make you think like, you could pay it off or it's easy.
Like, but I'm giving you $100,000 allowance.
But that APR percentage though, that'll catch you, and then you're like constantly paying the interest on it and constantly feeling like you're behind and you can't get out of that. Get that weight off you.
Similar thing. You? Well, I think you just grew up in the era. If you're a millennial, like you just know about credit card life. Yeah. Like it's just like, put it on the credit card. Put it on the credit card. Like, you see your parents do it. You're just like, that's normal. So I got my credit card. You get your job. Like also you get, you're like, I can go buy whatever car now. $35,000 car. As long as y'all got those payments down, I'm good. Yeah. Instead of thinking, time out, do I have $35,000?
But then the payments look like something you can actually do. Like, I could afford a $400. Let me afford a $400 payment, but you don't really think like that's $400 like coming out, and that's a lot of money out of.
Well, it is. That was mine. I feel like I got, y'all, I had a Ford Focus right out of college. Actually had an Explorer that my dad bought me, but then he took it away after college for some reason. I had to go buy my own car. He cut up my credit cards and I was on my own. So it is something I could afford. And then I got pressured because I got this new job in the city, and like, y'all don't even lie. I rolled up to the Ritz-Carlton one time in my Ford Focus, and I just wasn't feeling like that's what I need to do, and I felt
you rolled up to the Ritz-Carlton.
It was part of the job.
The Ritz-Carlton. I'm trying to roll up to the Hyatt.
Well, that's why we hadn't met yet.
That's true. I wasn't there yet.
No, I'm just kidding.
Or the Ramada.
I'm just kidding. You were in the Ramada. I was in the Ritz.
But you thought you had to keep up with appearances because you was working at a big agency. Everybody's flashing their nice purses, their nice expensive clothing and all that, and you felt the pressure to try to keep up.
I felt like, let me keep up with you guys. Like literally everyone had their Range Rovers, and I was like, that's my life, Lord, give me that. And instead of waiting for it,
you went to do it yourself.
You did it yourself.
How'd you do it?
Well, I mean, I went and got the best I could, which was a Jeep.
Of that year, right?
A brand new,
off the lot.
Off the lot, which is fine because I rode that thing to the very end, literally 2 years ago.
No, but how long it took you to actually pay off that brand new of the lot vehicle?
Oh my
how
gosh,
many years?
until I was married.
Yeah, it was about 7 years?
6 or 7 years.
Yeah,
which is just like insane, guys.
Yeah.
But the point of all this and being debt free is, like even after that, like I just wasn't great at managing money in my 20s, all to the demise of my bank account, which hit 0. And when it hit 0, this is another story for another day, I had credit cards, student loans, like I needed a computer, so I put it on Best Buy, and then
Best Buy credit card?
and then got hit with the
APR.
I didn't pay it in the 6 months that they said, and then I got hit with all like literally hundreds of dollars of
slapped
fees.
in the face. Pop.
Yeah, I got slapped. I had a meltdown, and I was like, Lord, I need order in my life.
So it's crazy how like you had that background like growing like in your adulthood, and I had that background in my adulthood, with credit cards, and I thought one day I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm tired of like.
Were you good at budgeting now?
I was okay at budgeting, but I
was not.
I just wanted to get off I started realizing how much interest credit card, like it finally hit me one day, like you're paying this much interest every time you pay.
Right.
And that's why you're not gaining as fast, that's why you're not cutting over this bill as fast. And
you were living above your means.
I was living above my means. And when we started getting married, that was one of the first things we talked about, like our whole mindset on this. Dating, like we started our whole mindset started changing. Like we were like, we want to be debt free.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, that started happening like when we were dating, like personally. It wasn't like a together thing.
No.
Personally, we were pretty far in it.
Yep.
I was like, you know what? I want to pay off these student loans. I want to go aggressive. I was listening like to Dave Ramsey and all those people, and I was like, I don't know. I don't want to be a lender. I don't want, I don't want to be is it a lender?
Slave to the lender.
Slave to the lender is what Dave says. I was like, I don't want that. And so I told Fedrick how I was, and it was right before we got married.
Yep, we had a big talk about, okay, do you have any debt? Are you bringing any debt into the marriage? Like, you have any things to pay off? All that stuff.
And you didn't.
The table. No, I didn't.
So you got control of it, like.
Yeah, I had gotten control of my debt and stuff kind of right before we started getting, like maybe a year before we started dating.
Ladies, listen to that. Men, listen to that.
You want to marry somebody that has goals, financial goals, and want to gain wealth and to improve and want your family to grow in those areas. And so we talked about it and we lined it all up and it was like, okay, these are things that we need to pay off. And then we started like just taking them off one by one, slicing them away.
I got with someone who was like, let's go for it, because that was my heart. I was like, I really want to go. And he's like, yeah, I'll partner with you, let's do it. And I'm like, you're gonna take out my debt.
Yeah, so we literally went with
we went hard.
Dave Ramsey super snowball effect, and just was like boom, boom, boom. We're just gonna.
And how we did it was look at our budget and say like, okay, we're not going to be eating out. We're not going to be going on crazy trips. We're not going to be spending all our money on these clothes. Like, I don't know. It's just
we did like a hard freeze too. We said like it was like no major spending for 6 months. We said these 6 months we're just gonna keep it real trim, lean and trim. We're gonna like cook at home. We're gonna just do all these little small things that's gonna add up to help give us like some wiggle room to slice off these debt.
And we both had we're working full time. Yeah. And so if you have no kids and you're married and you're working full-time, both of you, like that is, I'm telling you, that is the time to get aggressive with it, because you have all this extra money.
Diapers are expensive.
And I'm so glad we did it then. And just an encouragement right now, if you are in a place where you're like, gosh, I've never really thought about this, of like getting debt-free or living below my means, like, now is a time. You're not too late, even if your family says differently. It kind of feels like you're going against the grain when you start thinking this way.
For sure.
But it is better to be building wealth than looking rich.
Yeah. Oh.
We say this all the time, and I've heard other people say it.
This generation is so concerned with looking successful, more concerned with looking successful than they are with actually being successful.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my quote, and that's the truth. Like,
we're a little deeper.
We have Instagram, we have all these social media outlets, right? We're so consumed with showing how successful we are. Like, look at me, look, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I got this, I got that, look at my car, look at my clothes, look at my shoes, pow, you know?
And half the time, they don't own really.
But yeah, half the time they don't own all of it, and half the time, it's like growing up in the islands, right? I would see so many people with these nice flashy cars with rims on it, right? Yeah. They put rims on their car, and the car's pulling up to a place that looks like it's gonna fall on the car, you know, and that's just what I would see.
Well, I grew up with that too in East Texas.
Yeah.
I remember actually one of the things my dad always taught me was like always look at the house before you look at the car.
Yeah.
Meaning if someone has a nice car but a rundown house, the priorities are off.
Yeah, and it's not like saying that you can't have a nice car, but I'm saying like they feel like the car, which shows like people see you walking out of it, right?
Yeah.
When you go.
Proves more
because it's the parents you're giving off as opposed to your reality.
Yeah.
Your parents should never supersede your reality. Mm. You know? So that's all I'm saying.
He came with that word.
Yeah.
No.
So even like moving forward, like now in our like marriage, you know, and today, like we shouted out, we're debt free, you know, but there were times, even early in our marriage, like there were times where we bought a car and we had payments on the car and we were paying on the cars, and we felt that the Lord was like, okay, you don't do that payment anymore. Sell your car. Get a cash car.
We both had our cars for all of our 20s, came into marriage. So in that first year, we became debt free.
Yep.
That was, 4 years ago. Yep. And then both of our cars, like,
died.
Were breaking down. And it was that temptation, like, do we do the cash?
Yeah.
Do we not? So we got, again, the car, and I was just like...
A car with payments.
Yeah, a car with payments. I was like, this doesn't feel right.
A really new car with payments.
We were debt-free.
It was pretty flashy.
And I think we only rode that for a couple months, and then we were like, this is wrong. And so we gave it back, bought a cash car. Yep. Fedrick took over my old Jeep.
I did.
I was like, that's a good man. He gave me the new cash car and then drove my beat up Jeep into the sunset until...
You really did beat that Jeep.
Until it died.
On the road.
On the freeway. In
the rain.
In the rain on one of the coldest nights, January nights, in the middle of the night. Yep. He didn't even call me and tell me. It was all by himself. Yep. So he had like a moment where, and you were driving to the dealership.
Yeah, I was driving to a dealership to look at
it.
Other vehicles, because we knew that car was about to go.
Yeah. So here we are, kind of like, this is 2 years ago, right before the pandemic. Yep. We got another car where we had smaller payments. Yeah. So we were like, okay, Lord, I can kind of justify.
Yeah, this is manageable. It's manageable.
We can do this. And then we got another car with a little bit of payments. And it just like, it's funny because God doesn't condemn you in moments where you're growing and you're learning. And if you're just open to the Holy Spirit, He will like show you. And so obviously during the pandemic and both being home, we were like, we don't need two cars.
Yeah, so we sold one because we're like, we need one car. We're not going anywhere. Why pay the payment? So we sold that car, and then we kept the newer car.
Yeah, we kept the newer car. We're like, Lord, you need us to have this.
Yeah, we need this one. We got 2 kids. We need the newer car. It's nice. The bells and whistles, right? Exactly. Right, Lord?
The car seats work better in this, God.
It just feels right.
Then one day I was walking to said car, and I heard the Lord say, you need to get rid of this one too.
And this is the unglam life we're talking about.
And I was like, okay, I don't think I heard you right, so let me simmer on this word. And then again, I prayed about it, told Fedrick, and he was feeling the same thing. And here's why. Because God is wanting us to have wealth that is legacy that's lasting. And the only way to truly get ahead is, one, to live within that means, to live with what God has given you. And so Fedrick and I pay everything with cash.
Yeah.
So this is not to brag.
No.
This is to say, if we don't have the money for it, we don't get it. Like, and that took many years to learn that. Like many years. But
and that's not to say our heart's not broken when we're like, no, we're not going to do that. You know, when we really want to do it or want something.
Because it can be easy to say, I'm just going to put on the credit card.
Yeah.
I'll just go get payments for it. Like, it's totally fine. But it rushes, I feel like, when God's like, hey, I would have given that to you.
Yep.
Like, I want to give that to you. And there's freedom, too, to know, like, everything that money that's coming in is now building versus... I still got to pay off that bag that now costs $4,000.
Yeah, I got to pay this off
because of interest.
That, and so it's kind of, I guess it's like we call it, the unglamorousness of it all is just that knowing that maybe you're driving a car that's not as new as all your friends, not as new as all your coworkers, not as flashy, but it works great, and it's getting you from A to B.
Yeah, with a little bit of...
Okay, with none of that. I hope it has none of that. Like, please don't do it with that. That's kind of scary.
But I'm making it, Jesus.
And here's the thing: if people don't like want to hang with you because of the car you're showing up with, then they may not be the people you want to hang out with. They may not be the relationships you want to have if they're looking down on you just because of what you don't have or because of the steps you're taking. Like, they may not know just because you have a older car, or older year, like a 5 to 7 year old older car, and they have a new car, doesn't mean that you don't have, like, you may have more in their savings account than they have in their savings account because they're choosing the 2022
it's so true.
car.
I think it's so funny how people, like, literally judge other people, like, oh, let me hang with the rich friends, or let me hang, and they have no idea people's bank accounts, because we don't go around and go, hey, what's in your bank account? We just look on the outward appearance and go, oh, those must be the rich people.
Yeah, that's because man just judges the outward and God judges the heart.
Yes.
So this is like, even this unglamorous thing we're talking about, things we've given out, like God told us to give up stuff, and that's just him even like seeing and testing us to see, will we be obedient?
Exactly.
And do what he's telling us to do, even though it hurts, even though it may not look right to the logical eye of everybody in the world. It may not look good to so-and-so, but will you be obedient and do what I'm saying and do to you? Because I want to bless you so much that you be able to afford any car you want.
Exactly. And it's not even, I mean, obviously we're talking about cars specifically, and that was like how, you know, paying off things, and paying off cars and all the things. Even like coming out of our house, we sold our house 2 years ago. Because we just, like, it was going to be too much with me leaving my job. And it's just little things like that. I feel like moving into this apartment, everything has been kind of a reset. Like, God has just laid this new foundation for us, and we've learned so much on waiting on him. And it's also like, when you build wealth, you are more of a blessing. You have more finances to bless other people, and the generosity spirit like flows even more if that is your heart. Because you now have room, and it's not like, oh, I gotta pay this off, I gotta pay this off, I gotta pay this off, pay this off. And so I don't know, I think we're just saying, like, this year, really, like, look at your finances and look at where you want to be and what's important to you, and like what you might be building. And it's okay, like, to just step back and be like, I don't have to shop there, or I don't have to do that, or I don't have to keep up with you, and
I can cook a little more.
I can't go to that fancy dinner with you.
I'm cooking tonight, and there's so much little things that you can do, and these are, and who knows, maybe we'll even go into like some of the stuff we always joke around with, doing our like balling on a budget session and a ball on a budget video. And
Better can teach y'all how to ball on a budget.
For real, your boy balls on a budget. That might be something. If y'all interested in that, just comment below.
Yeah.
We've done so much other steps that we've done, like things that we've given up, and the Lord told us to let go of to help us to get to this point in debt free. And Who knows? Maybe we can share more of that. Like,
we can share it all. If this is interesting to you,
let us know.
Comment below. If not, this was for one person. We are just excited because we are pumped and we know the journey to being debt free. It is a lot and it feels very overwhelming. Yeah. But I promise, when I started it, I was like, God, how? Like, you know, I only make this amount of money. How am I going to do this? But I promise he blesses our, like Fedrick was saying, our obedience and the steps. Like, he sees our heart and our obedience with what we have. It's like the fish and the loaves. Like, God says, all I have, I think I can maybe do no coffee at Starbucks this week. You see me, God, I'm trying. And the funny thing is, he will like pay off. We've seen God like pay off things. Oh yeah. People hand us checks. Yeah. Like, your obedience is what commands blessing, and he always does above what you can imagine and think. So don't be overwhelmed with the journey of it. Just start.
Just start and watch as those floodgates of heaven just open up and just start raining down and things just start happening, and you get checks in the, like, we've gotten checks in the mail, random checks in the mail with our names on it. I'm like, what is this?
Exactly.
Better believe I cashed that.
You bet. And got shoes. I mean, should Fedrick sell his shoes?
The Lord knows my heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, comment if you want us to go deeper into some of the steps we took, or if you want us to do that video series on balling on a budget.
Balling on a budget. Yeah, ways that you can save money.
Yeah, exactly.
We are no experts.
We're not experts, but we got some tips. Pros. We got some tips, though.
Well, we're not. We got tips. Okay, I'm just saying, we are not your financial gurus.
No.
But if God can do it for us and lead us into this financial freedom, then He can do it for
And He will. He will.
Okay, guys. We will
Thanks for watching this video. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe. Y'all share this video. Y'all got friends. Share this video with your friends. Let them know.
We'll talk to you later. Okay.
Bye.